Philippine Politics and Governance for Senior High School Students, Lesson 2, Political Ideologies. Under this is the basic tenets of the major political ideologies such as liberalism, socialism, conservatism, etc. Ewan Stories.
Like, subscribe, click the notification bell.
Ideology, a form of social or political philosophy in which practical elements are as prominent as theoretical ones. It is a system of ideas that aspires both to explain the world and to change it. Political ideology, on the other hand, is a set of beliefs and ideas that define political activities, policies, and events. It is comprised of related and supporting ideas that advances a certain idea of what society and government is and what it should be. It also outlines the role of the government and the economy in society. It is also the basis for the development of a political culture, which is a set of beliefs, attributes, and behavior that define political processes and governance. The four key functions of ideology. Number 1, it explains the society and politics organized and how various aspects of politics work. Number 2, it evaluates whether a certain political actions or program is good or bad. Number 3, it orients those who subscribe to it to have a sense of identity and direction. And number 4, it provides program or plan of action that will bring about political change. What is a political spectrum? It is a graphic representation of political ideologies along a line from left to right. For the left, those that adhere to liberal and socialist ideologies. Those from the right are those who conform to conservative and fascist ideologies, and the center is a moderate or centralist ideology which balances the ideas from the left and the right side of the political spectrum. So ito na yung political spectrum. As you can see, nandito yung mga ideologies na i-discuss natin mamaya. Sa gitna, yung centrism, and then on the left, we have the anarchism, socialism, social democracy, and liberalism. On the right side, we have neoliberalism, conservatism, reactionism, and fascism. One good example is monarchy. As you can see, meron siyang left side and then meron siyang right side. Those who are located on the left are called the opposed or the opposition, and the right side ay tinatawag naman siya na supporters. On the left side, dito yung pumapasok yung mga leftist ideals. Pag sinabi natin leftist, sila ay naniniwala sa individual freedom over government control. So andito yung mga liberalist, which is the most moderate, and then meron din dito social democracy, socialism, anarchism. On the right side naman, ito naman yung mga nagsusuporta sa gobyerno. Kaya tinatawag silang rightist. So they emphasize government power and authority, often at the expense of individual freedom. Kasi kung makikita nyo, mas lamang ang gobyerno o ang bansa kaysa sa mga tao. So under this, we have neoliberalism, conservatism, reactionism, at yung pinaka-extreme is the fascism. The left side of this political spectrum is the liberal to socialism or socialist. So they emphasize on personal liberty and human rights, government control over the market, government control over essential services and economic activities. It seeks to limited role for the government, especially with regard to private matters and individual designs, such as libertarian. Often advocates political and social change through revolutionary means. The center, which is the moderate, it combines ideas and principles from both the left and the right side of the political spectrum. It emphasizes balance between extreme views and ideas. It seeks the middle ground in political issues and seeks to maintain status quo in politics and society. On the right side of the political spectrum, we have the conservative to fascist emphasis on the welfare of the state of the common good. Individual interests should give way to national or state interest. Markets should be free and unregulated. Emphasizes the rule of law and power of the state, especially in times of crisis. Prefers a strong military and seeks to project a powerful image in international affairs. Remember that similar ideologies, those that belong to the same side of the political spectrum, do not necessarily agree on some views regarding politics, economy, and society. Kaya as we go on, you can see that some political ideologies na whether magkakasama sila sa left or magkakasama sila sa right ay hindi pa rin sila nagkakatagpo, kaya meron lang silang pagkakapareho. Major political ideologies and related ideas. Let us start with the left side of the political spectrum, which is liberalism. Liberalism seeks to establish a society that provides opportunities for growth to all individuals. Public policy must be toward eliminating discrimination and barriers to growth and development. All citizens must have access to essential services like healthcare, education, and social security. Upholds recognition of human rights and freedom such as freedom of speech, religion, gender equality, and a secular government. Top 10 liberalist nation: Iceland, Finland, Sweden, Norway, New Zealand, Slovenia, Switzerland, Denmark, Ireland, and United Kingdom. Social democracy is a democratic government and capitalist economy. One example of this is the Philippines. It advocates government regulation of economy, income distribution, and the promotion of social welfare. Socialism is the establishment of a state characterized by public ownership or resources, and the means of production, such as production to meet the basic needs and not for profit. Democratic control over the use of resources and the production of goods and services are done in a cooperative manner. Government ensures that all citizens have free access to goods and services. A well-known socialist ideology is Marxism. This is from Karl Marx. His theory believes that capitalism societies are characterized by conflict or the struggles between the working class, which are the proletariat, and the capitalists. The proletariat will lead a revolution that will establish a communist society. Another type of socialist ideology is communism. It believes inequality is a result of capitalism and the existence of a class system. A practical implementation of Marxism. It is eliminating class division in order to achieve equality. Stateless society where all are equal, a political movement. It is revolutionary. It advocates mass actions and armed struggle in order to achieve its goal. These are some of the communist socialist countries. We have China, Cuba, Laos, and Vietnam. Other former countries under socialisms are Afghanistan, Albania, Angola, Belarus, Benin, Bulgaria, Cambodia, Congo, Czechoslovakia, Ethiopia, East Germany, Hungary, North Korea, Mongolia, Mozambique, Poland, Romania, Somalia, Russia, Ukraine, North Vietnam, South Yemen, and Yugoslavia. Anarchism, it advocates total dismantling and elimination of the state. The state is undesirable because of control, political authority, and hierarchy. It represents everything that is detrimental to freedom and individualism. Establishment of self-governed communities where individuals manage their affairs through cooperative effort and mutual respect. So in other words, in anarchism, wala talagang gobyerno or walang state. The Sarvodaya Shamadana movement is the oldest anarchist movement. It was started in 1958 and is still present today in 15,000 villages in Sri Lanka. This self-governance movement has a program that starts with an invitation from a village to discuss needs and makes a plan of action. The program continues in stages to establish a village council, build schools and clinics, create economic opportunity, starting a bank, and sponsoring public meditations where thousands of Hindus, Buddhists, Christians, and Muslims meditate together. For the right side of the political spectrum, we have neoliberalism. It is associated with laissez-faire economic liberalism and free market capitalism. It is generally associated with policies of economic liberalization, including privatization, deregulation, globalization, free trade, and reductions in government spending in order to increase the role of the private sector in the economy and society. Laissez-faire is an economic theory from the 18th century that opposed any government intervention in business affairs. Laissez-faire is a French term that translates as leave alone, literally let you do. The less the government is involved in the economy, the better off businesses will be and also the society as a whole. Free market, on the other hand, is a system of economics that minimizes government intervention and maximizes the role of the market. One of the best examples of a nation with policies generally in line with neoliberalism is the United States of America. Conservatism. It promotes traditional social institutions. It includes traditions, organic society, hierarchy, authority, and property rights. Conservatives seeks to preserve a range of institutions such as religion, parliamentary government, and property rights with the aim of emphasizing social stability and continuity, wary of change or reform, and oppose socialist ideas. It is a limited government. Social problems are not the concern of the government. These should be addressed at the local or community level. Top 10 most conservative nations: Yemen, Mali, Iran, Pakistan, Chad, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Lebanon, Swaziland, and Ethiopia. Reactionism, an ideology that favors reaction, especially extreme conservatism or rightism in politics, and opposition to political change. Reactionism emphasizes the return of a previous social or political state, supporting a return to the good old days. Consider the present state of society as flawed and looks to the past, which they consider a more orderly and better time. Society should change in a way that traditional practices and previous state policies are revived. For now, wala pa akong mahanap na countries under reactionism. But if you have, please comment down below para makatulong pa tayo sa ibang mga nagre-research for this topic. The last one is fascism, a political philosophy, movement, or regime that exalts nations and often raises above the individual and that stands for a centralized autocratic government headed by a dictatorial leader, severe economic and social regimentation, and forcible suppression of opposition. Individual liberties and interests must give way to the interests of the state. In this ideology naman, ito na yung pinaka-extreme kung saan mas nangingibabaw ang kapangyarihan ng gobyerno kaysa sa mga mamamayan nito. These are some former fascist countries. We have Italy. In 1922 to 1943, the first fascist country ruled by Benito Mussolini continued to fight the Allies alongside Germany. Number 2, Germany, 1933 to 1945. The National Socialist German Workers' Party or the Nazis came to power in Germany as a minority party when its leader Adolf Hitler, who was named Chancellor following the elections in 1933. After the death of President Paul von Hindenburg in 1934, the entire power of the German state was concentrated in Hitler's hands. The last one is Japan, 1931 to 1945. Right-wing elements in Japan, including industrialists, military officers, and the nobility, had long opposed democracy as an anathema to national unity. Military cliques began to dominate the national government starting in the 1930s. In reality, most advocates of political ideologies do not fully embrace all ideas of their preferred ideology. Many political groups have a core ideology as a basis for their fundamental beliefs, but may adopt some ideas from other political ideologies. So in other words, yung mga ideology na ina-adapt ng mga grupo or mga bansa, hindi siya yung buong buo. Kasi pwede naman tayong pumili ng mga gandang ideology or part of the ideology sa ibang ideology and make your own ideology for your country. For example, in the 1987 Philippine Constitution, it is based on liberal, socialist, conservative, and fascist ideology. So that's our topic for today. So sana may natutunan man kayo, and please like this video, also subscribe kung bago lang kayo, and also click the notification bell para meron kayong mga updates. This lecture was based from the curriculum guide from the Department of Education.